Having a 12-month emergency savings fund can save you a lot of stress in the long run. So the general advice for emergency savings is that you have 3 to 6 months of savings put aside. However, depending on your job industry and the economy, having an extended emergency savings fund like 12 months may be right for you. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So have you thought about a 12-month emergency fund? Do you currently have an emergency fund? And for how many months can it cover? Share in the comments. I would love to know. Hey everyone, my name is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance. I'm also the author of the Clever Girl Finance book series and the new book, Choosing to Prosper. Welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about if a 12-month emergency savings fund is realistic for you and how to start yours. Let's get into it. So first of all, what is a 12-month emergency savings fund? Well, it's basically what it sounds like. It's basically having enough money to cover your essentials, your core essentials for a period of 12 months. And those core essentials include housing, food, transportation, core utilities, and any medicines. So basically, whatever you need to survive over a 12-month period is what would be covered in that 12-month emergency savings. So as I mentioned earlier, the general rule of thumb for emergency savings is to have 3 to 6 months of savings put aside. But when does a 12-month savings make sense for you? When does it make sense for you to have 12 months of emergency savings? Well, it depends on a number of things. For example, number one, if you have an unstable job. So if you are not sure about your job security or your industry is not one that really offers strong job security, you might want to consider having a 12-month emergency savings fund. Also, if you are a business owner or you are a freelancer and you are operating with an inconsistent income, it is smart to have a 12-month emergency savings plan for your personal finances and as a business owner for your business as well. The second scenario where a 12-month emergency fund might make sense is if you have any health issues or if you have any health emergencies, because it's oftentimes that when you have a serious health situation, insurance may not cover all of it, or you may not have the adequate insurance at the time. So having 12 months of emergency savings can help you focus on healing instead of worrying about, personal finances while you're recovering. So when it comes to saving 12 months of emergency savings, it's going to require some time, dedication, and patience. However, it is totally possible with a plan. And so let's get into 6 ways as to which you can create a plan to save your 12-month emergency fund. Number one, you want to understand why having a 12-month emergency fund is important to you. Why do you want to have this fund in place, right? You need to set that objective. Is it because you're worried about job security? Is it because you have a family that is depending on you? You really want to get clear as to why you need this fund. And the reason why it's so important to get clear is because if you don't have a why around what you're saving for or why you are saving that 12-month fund, then it's really hard to stay motivated and very easy to get demotivated knowing that you're saving a significant amount of money. So number 2, you want to determine your monthly income. And this is basically understanding how much you're bringing in every single month so you know how much you need to save for when it comes to pulling out your core essentials from that monthly total. And you also want to factor your other sources of income that you may not necessarily consider. For example, if you're getting any bonuses, any tax refunds, any cashback rebates, side hustle income, part-time job income. Basically consider every single dollar that's coming into your household. You might be selling stuff in your wardrobe, in your garage, in your kitchen. That is all income that you want to consider to determine what your monthly average income is. Number 3, once you determine what your income is, you want to figure out what your expenses are. So what does it cost you to live? And when you're thinking about saving for emergencies, you really want to narrow down on what does it cost me to survive from month to month, right? So that's your core essentials that I mentioned earlier, your housing, your food, your transportation, your core utilities, any medicines you might need. And then everything else can fall to the side when you're working on saving for emergencies. Your emergency savings, as I highlighted earlier, is specific to helping you get through a difficult situation or period of time. And so the wants and the nice to haves can be put aside when you're thinking about what are the expenses I need to cover when I'm saving for this 12-month period. And then number 4, determine how much you need to save. And that's basically what is the amount of your core essentials every single month and multiply that by 12 months. And that will give you that number of how much you should be saving. Again, as I just mentioned, this is not for the nice to haves and the wants. This is essentially focused around your needs. So you know why the emergency savings is important. You know why you want to save 12 months. You've determined your income. You've determined your expenses. You know exactly how much you need to save. Now, number 5 is to determine a system to save. And that basically means building your plan to save into your budget as a line item. So if you know how much you need to save for 12 months, take that and divide it by how often you get paid. So you might get paid once a month. So that will be 12 times, or you might get paid bi-weekly. You want to have a line item in your budget that says every time I get paid, X amount of money is going towards my emergency savings goal for 12 months. And then in terms of creating add-ons to that system, you definitely want to think about automating those transfers to savings so that you don't have that mental debate with yourself once you get paid as to whether or not you should send the money over to your savings account. Once you automate it, it just goes straight to that emergency fund and you don't have to think about it. Number 6, it's also really important that you decide where you're going to put this money. So when you're thinking about emergency savings, this is money that you want to be easily accessible, that you can get to when you need it. So you do not want to tie this up into any stock market investments, real estate investments, or any other types of volatile investments like cryptocurrency, for example. You want this liquid and easily accessible. So examples of where you can keep this money would include a high yield savings account, money market accounts, or certificate of deposit accounts. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button below, tell your best friends about Clever Girl Finance, and stop by our website where we have over 30 plus completely free courses to help you on your journey to financial wellness. Okay, let's get back to the video. So now you know how to start that 12-month emergency savings account, but let's talk about some ways in which you can actually fund that account, right? Because this is extra savings that you're putting aside in addition to your other life goals, right? So you're prioritizing saving 12 months of emergency savings, but then how do you fund it? So let's get into some ways. Number 1, you can start a side hustle. So if you have a skill that you are good at or something that you're passionate about learning, you can actually monetize this and start a side hustle, but be intentional about putting the money you earn from your side hustle towards that emergency savings fund. You can also get a part-time job to help you, save more money that you're, again, be very mindful of designating this money that you're spending your extra time earning towards bulking up that 12-month emergency fund that you want to build. Number 2, leverage free offers to save money. And so this is basically, based on your normal spending, your budgeted spending. You can do things like leverage cashback apps, right? Coupon apps that can help you save additional money as you spend what you already plan to spend. And that money you save, you can put towards your emergency savings fund. Number 3, do a money savings challenge. And basically what a money savings challenge is, it's an extra motivator to help you step out of your comfort zone to save. And there's several different ones. There's a money savings challenge where every time you have a $5 bill, you put it into a savings account or you put it into a money jar in your house. You can do the 52-week or 26-week savings challenge where every single week you transfer a specific amount of money into a dedicated savings account. You can do a Weather Wednesdays savings challenge where you save the amount that is equal to the temperature for that Wednesday. And if you stop by clevergirlfinance.com and you search our blog for money savings challenges, we have tons of articles on this topic with different ideas of money savings challenges you can try to help you bulk up your emergency savings account. Number 4, don't spend your tax refunds or bonuses. Just designate that money, immediately apply that money to your emergency savings account. Number 5, sell items that you own but you do not need. I mentioned earlier that there's lots of ways that we can make money within our homes. For instance, selling things in our kitchen, in our garages, in our closets. I'm sure we have a couple things, each one of us has a couple of things that we can downsize to get some extra cash. And then number 6, it's okay to start small and increase your savings over time. So it may take you a while to save that 12-month emergency savings. And if you can only save, say, $100 a week or every 2 weeks, that is fine. Start there. And as you get free income, as you come up with ideas to earn more money, increase how much you're saving. Just because you set a lofty savings goal for yourself doesn't mean that if you don't have the money right away, that you don't pursue it. Start with what you have and be intentional about growing your income in order to bulk up that savings account. So 12 months of emergency savings might seem like a lot of money, but again, as I mentioned, it depends on your specific scenario, right? The rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months, but having more money for emergency savings is never a bad idea. And so it's important to think about how can you get creative to save that money. And once that money is there, if you have to leverage it for an emergency or a life situation, that is what it's there for. And then you build it back into your budget to replenish the account once you get past that emergency situation. So I hope you have found this video helpful and it's helping you think about whether or not a 12-month emergency savings fund is right for you. And again, you don't need to have 12 months right away. Start with one. Start with saving your first $1,000 towards emergencies, and then start with your second month and then third month. And over time, build up to your ideal range of what is a good emergency savings account for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please share your thoughts in the comments about what you are doing to save your emergency savings fund and if a 12-month fund is right for you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel and stop by clevergirlfinance.com, where we have over 30+ completely free courses to help you on your journey to financial wellness. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon.